Hello, this is going to be an unboxing video of a cheap action camera that I recently purchased on Amazon for a little bit less than $40. The original price was $50 and then there was a $15 off coupon, so in total, or after $35, tax, shipping, it was a little bit less than $40. I have 10 other action cameras. This is my 11th action camera and I'm very excited to start this video and to show you what is inside the box, to show you the accessories, and later to show you some video tests and photo tests with this budget-friendly action camera. I'm going to take it out of the box. This is actually very interesting. Very, very interesting. Here's the box, and immediately the only thing in this box is actually a case that they gave you to carry the camera. So this is actually amazing. This is what is in the box. Kind of amazing because I've only seen this one other time with one of my other cheap action cameras, but the fact that they give you this case specifically for carrying the camera, it's kind of amazing. As soon as I opened the box, I thought, wow, look at this presentation. Jadfezy action camera. If you're someone like me who constantly looks for cheap action cameras on Amazon, you might recognize this name, not because it's a well-known brand, but because there was one other cheap action camera available on Amazon from this company. That is the one that's around $20. This is the more expensive one, the one that's between $40 and $50, maybe a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. There is another Jadfezy action camera, a cheap one for around $20. This is the more expensive one, the one that advertises 4K resolution, and you'll see that. So I just wanted to let you know, this is the $50 version. This is not the $20 version. So right away, the presentation, just simply outstanding. The fact that they gave you this case, and let me just move the camera back a little bit. Look at this. You can actually carry. It's a carrying case with a zipper. It's just a very, very sturdy looking case. And this is amazing. It's not just a box, a little cardboard box. This is actually a case for carrying your camera. Amazing. Let's just get started with this video. Very cool presentation so far. Amazing. I mean, it's very nice that not only are the cameras already, I mean, they are portable, but to give you a case specifically to hold the accessories in the camera, so far we're off to a great start. First thing you see is a whole lot of accessories. I mean, if you're not familiar with action cameras, they do come with accessories, standard accessories like underwater housing, some mounts, but this is right now going above and beyond. Just, I mean, not just an empty box here. Look at all of this stuff. We're going to show you, maybe not talk about what the purpose is of all of these items, but you see what I'm talking about. Look at all of that. Very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is you will need to purchase separately a micro SD memory card if you're not already familiar with that. It's a small memory card that will that you'll need in order to hold your footage, to store your footage. See the memory card, micro SD memory card. It's very small, obviously, but you will need that. It's, unless you buy some sort of special bundle, it's not going to be included. So you need a memory card to insert into your camera to hold your footage, to store your files. This one's 32 gigabytes. I highly recommend that. A lot of cameras, they should accept 32 gigabyte memory card. Separate purchase. This will not be included. You need to buy this separately. Without a memory card, you have nowhere to store your files. There's no built-in memory here, so you need a micro SD memory card. That's all I'm going to say here. We'll insert this into the camera later, but letting you know now, you need a memory card. I mean, just, you can buy the camera, but you will need a memory card separately. Here's the camera itself in the underwater housing currently. Maybe it has the battery in it already. You can take off some of this plastic. There's your underwater housing. It's really standard with these action cameras to have this underwater housing. It doesn't maybe not 100% guarantee that it's going to be waterproof, but a lot of the cameras are waterproof. I've tested them, so hopefully this will be good in the water. Just really one of the main advantages for these Jadfezy. This is the 4K version. Again, this is not the $20 version. There is a $20 camera made by this company, but this is the 4K version. I don't know how good the resolution is, but don't be confused by that. This is the more expensive one. Here's the camera. Put it to the side. Some mounts here. I'm not really going to talk about these. They're various things that you can use them for. So. So you can see here, it's just things that you can use on bike mounts, helmets, other things on a surfboard, maybe all sorts of things you can attach to your camera. I mean, a lot of these I'm not really going to use. This is very cool. You can maybe attach a string here. You can, I would put this, put this around my neck maybe. Here, there's a string. If you want to just, you can think of what you want to use this for. It's obviously it's when you take it out of the underwater housing, you can put the camera in here, and then you can attach something here. I like to put a string here around my neck. It's kind of difficult, but it's kind of a shell that'll hold the camera, and then up here you have that little place where you can put something in here through this little hole here. Okay, that's very nice to have. An extra back for the camera. Never really use this. It's always included. Extra battery. I think there's already a battery in here, so this is an extra battery. Always nice to have. Remote control. I'm not really going to use this, but still very cool. I think they sometimes include a spare battery for the remote, so let me just make sure you see all the accessories. Okay. Next, this is kind of, okay, this is a strap. Let me put this to the side. This, when I saw this, I couldn't believe my eyes. This is actually a tripod, which normally would be a separate accessory. You'd have to purchase on Amazon, or this is my 11th action camera, and I've never seen an accessory like this included. A tripod, a little tripod for the camera. That's just incredible. I'm using a tripod right now, but this is just a small tripod, little portable tripod, which is very cool because I kind of needed one actually. Wow, this is just, yeah, I mean, not the build quality doesn't seem that great, but nonetheless, this is a little tripod. I mean, it's very cool, very cool. Like, you look at this little tripod. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool because it's I mean, some flexibility here. It's just some metal, some wires here, but it's very cool because it's portable. A little tripod just to stand your camera up somewhere where you may not have a lot of space to use a full-size tripod like the one I'm using right now. Very cool. I like that. It's a neat little accessory. Build quality isn't that great. It's just some wires and plastic. But whoops. Very excited to maybe use this in certain situations. Tripod. Cool accessory here. Lots of accessories. And we're not done yet. We have some more straps, a cleaning cloth to clean the camera lens, always nice to have. You can never have enough of those. Very important, your USB cable. I mean, how else are you going to charge the camera and to transfer the footage from your camera to your computer? This is your USB cable and charger. You need that. Wow, okay, we're gonna turn this around here. There's a whole lot of accessories here. I still cannot believe how many accessories we have here. Okay, let's keep going. We got the manual. Here we go. I guess this is called the IK0700 user's guide. Okay. I guess you have some kinds of instructions here. Memory card. Where the buttons are, the ports, where to insert the micro SD card. Okay, so the manual here, hopefully you find this useful. Different features, probably different things like that. That's your manual. Now to just finish with the accessories. Wow, this is very cool. We have a little sorry, we have a little charging station, charging station to charge both of your batteries at the same time, which charges them much faster. You just insert the USB part of the USB cable right here, the other end into your computer, and you can charge two batteries at the same time. Very, 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 very cool. Very cool. Charges the batteries much faster than if you just charge it when the battery's in the camera. Just plug it in here, take out the batteries, put them here. Done. Very cool. Charging station. Some more little accessories, these ties and attachments. You can never have enough of these, I guess. I'm not really going to use them. For the bike, maybe helmet. Some more ties here, and then finally some more ties. So really, oops, sorry. When you look at this, you think, wow, it's a lot of accessories. I mean, most of these are probably not going to use, but the tripod is definitely cool. Definitely a nice, never a bad idea to carry around a little tiny tripod with you, just in case. You're going to put this on a surface here, and then you can film. and charging station, extra battery, this shell to hold the camera. So far, wow, very fun. Very cool. So remember when I mentioned that we need a micro SD card? Well, now we're actually going to use that. We're going to insert this into the camera. So I'm going to show you how many features are on this camera, what the settings are. Let's get started right now. So we're just going to take this out. Okay, here, just pull up right here. In the back, just comes away like that. Very easy. Here's your camera. Just put that right there for now. And here's your underwater housing. Standard with all these action cameras. All these action cameras really have this underwater housing, so it's not a special accessory, but it always really should be included. I mean, even the very cheap $20 action cameras should have underwater housing. Okay, we're going to need that. Here is the camera itself. Got the red power button, Jadfezy. This is the more expensive version, like I said, not the $20 version. This is the one that advertises itself as having 4K resolution. We're going to take this plastic off here. So here it is. This is the camera that I was waiting 1 week just to open. Now, if only I can just take this sticker off of my fingers. There we go. Here it is. Here's the camera. I think it looks really cool. That little thing around the edge right here, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to take this off the back right here. Okay, so here it is. Here's our screen. Here's some up and down button. Maybe this is a microphone or a speaker. We can insert the battery. Is the battery already in the camera? Looks like there's already a battery here, so we're all set. We're going to see if there's any battery power. Got the power button right here. You got the record button. I really like the look of this camera so far. It looks very cool. Very cool. Ready to just get started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert the memory card. I think I mentioned that already. There's a little diagram showing where to insert it. So you see there's like there's a little ridge over here, indentation on my left over here. So we're just going to do it like that. We're going to try, see if this works. Uh-oh. That work? I don't know. I usually take some kind of scissors or some kind of thin metal object and just try to push it down until you hear a click. So you're going to hear a click, listen for the click. Perfect. Okay, that's our memory card. We're going to format it, but first, oh, there you go. See, this is for the tripod. Very cool. I've actually I don't know if I've ever seen this on action camera. This and what I was referring to just now is for this accessory. See right here? Sorry, maybe you can't see it. Right here, the tripod to screw this here. Okay, then you can have your little tripod attached to the camera. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Nice to have a little hole for the tripod right there. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, tripod. Okay, wonderful. Now let's see if there's any battery life here, and we're going to show you the settings. Then we're going to test the camera, show you some sample videos and photos with this Jadfezy action camera, so you can decide for yourself if you think that you're interested in purchasing this camera. I'm not affiliated with this product, this company, etc. I'm just here to unbox this and show you my thoughts on the camera so far. Lots of nice accessories, but we're going to take this outside and make some videos shortly. So let's turn it on and see if there's any battery life. Okay, and it looks like it is on. Jadfezy action camera series. Okay, turned on. That's a great sign. So what you can see right here is that there's some settings. 4K 30 frames per second is the default setting, but probably not going to use that. I'm probably going to use 1080p 60 frames per second as my favorite setting. And that is because I like 1080p 60 frames per second because I find it a good balance of smooth video and good quality. Okay, so I accidentally pressed the Wi-Fi button or something, the Wi-Fi button. So anyways, let's just see if we can get to the okay, so let's go between different settings. This is I think I accidentally clicked. So if you click on this button, just not hold it down because then it'll turn it off. If you just click on this button, it'll go between different features. So we clicked this button and it went to the camera feature, see 16 megapixels right here. 16 megapixels default for camera. So let's just keep going. Let's keep cycling through. No files. Currently we didn't make any videos. Okay. So, okay, here we go. Video settings. Video resolution, the default setting is 4K. Sorry, it's a little bit of a glare here. I apologize. Okay, video resolution 4K 30 frames per second. So just going to, I think there's a little bit of glare. I apologize. Okay, here we go. 4K 30 frames per second, 2.7K 30 frames per second. My personal favorite setting. 1080p. 60 frames per second. Let's gonna use that one. 1080p 30 frames per second. We have even more, I guess. No, that's it. Let's choose 1080p 60 frames per second. Looping video off. Time-lapse video. They have a time-lapse feature. That's pretty cool. It means that the footage will look sped up because it'll record or take a picture every second or every 5 seconds, etc. Let's turn that off for now. Slow motion, audio record on, so we're going to record. I don't know what the why it's so. I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a glare. I apologize. The slow motion feature. Okay, we're going to record audio, slow motion for recording in slow motion, the playback in slow motion. Okay, so there's our video resolution. Let's look at some other settings. Camera resolution. Time-lapse feature for photos. We have 60 megapixel resolution, 20 megapixels. Okay, let's leave it at 16. So these are the photo settings. And that's it, just a few settings here. So let's go to some other settings. Wi-Fi remote control off. Volume, let's turn it off so there's no beeping sound when we go through the settings. Effect, normal, contrast. Okay, let's go to some other settings here. Language, English, power off. Let's turn it off so it doesn't auto power off. Screensaver. Is there a screensaver? Date and time. Stamp. Let's turn the timestamp off. Screensaver. Let's turn it off as well. Anything else? Format. We're going to format the memory card. So it was previously being used in a different camera. Formatting completed. That's how you just make the memory card so that you can use it on the new camera. If its memory card was previously being used in a different camera, you always want to format it. Okay. And that's it. So this is our camera. We went through some settings. We showed you we have time-lapse feature, slow motion feature, photo feature. You can take pictures up to 20 megapixels. Apparently, we'll make a video photo test as well. But for now, we have some video settings, including 4K 30 frames per second. This is 1080p 60 frames per second, my personal favorite setting. This camera does have battery, so we were able to show you some of these settings. So far, I think this is a very nice looking camera, and I'm very excited to try it out. Obviously, you can see we have lots of accessories here, including a tripod, which is fantastic that they included this, an extra battery, a remote control, a docking station for charging 2 batteries, a charging station, charge both batteries at the same time very quickly, a case, a shell to hold your camera, so you can maybe put some string around here and hold this, whatever you like. A very nice looking case specifically designed for carrying the camera and its accessories. Fantastic presentation here, not just a little box, you actually have a case with a zipper. And we're ready to just try out this camera, see how good the quality is. Sorry, not a whole lot of settings here, just do photo feature, video feature, basic standard settings. But for a $50 action camera with a $15 off coupon, again, I'm not going to guarantee that you're also going to have that, be able to pay that same price. I was very interested in purchasing this product, and so far I'm very happy I did. Look at all these accessories. Now the only thing left to do is test the camera, so I'm just going to leave right now. We're going to go outside, make some videos, take some pictures, and we're just going to show you what it looks like when we record with this camera at various resolutions, including 4K 30 frames per second. We're also going to try 1080p 60 frames per second and 720p 120 frames per second. I think I saw that feature, that setting. So thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next part of this video where we talk about, or where we show you some sample footage recorded with this camera and sample photos taken with this camera. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. This is the Jadfezy, the 4K version, action camera. Turn this off. Nope. There we go. Goodbye. See you in the next part of this video. Hello, this is a 4K video test, 30 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera. .4K video test, 4K resolution, 30 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera. .4K video test, 30 frames per second resolution, 4K with the Jadfezy action camera. Video test, cheap, budget-friendly action camera recently purchased on Amazon for a little bit less than $40 because we had a $15 off coupon. I cannot say I'm very impressed with the video quality in general, so we'll see with this video test. But I think based on what I'm seeing on the screen, it looks kind of choppy, so I don't know if I'm going to be very impressed here. 4K resolution, 30 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera. Yeah, I looked at the other settings, 1080p, 60 frames per second, 720p, 120 frames per second. I didn't really like the video quality, so I don't really have high hopes here, but whatever. 4K resolution, 30 frames per second video test, Jadfezy action camera. .4K resolution, 30 frames per second video test. This is a 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera. .7K video test, 30 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera. .7K video test, 30 frames per second. 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera. .7K video test, resolution 30 frames per second. .7K video test at 30 frames per second. Jadfezy action camera. 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second. .1080p 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera, the more expensive version, not the $20 version. This is just a video test. How well can you hear me right now? How good is the video quality? 1080p 60 frames per second is the resolution that we are testing this camera at. This resolution, 1080p 60 frames per second. Just a very nice Sunday afternoon, February 27th, 2022. Here, weather is it's not too bad. It's not that cold. We're just enjoying being outside right now. 1080p 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera. Again, this is not the $20 version. This is the more expensive version. Very very cool accessories included with this camera, and right now we're just testing the video 1080p 60 frames per second video test with this budget friendly action camera that we recently purchased on Amazon. 1080p 60 frames per second. Hello, this is a 1080p 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera. This is the more expensive Jadfezy action camera. It looks like this. It looks like this. This is the Jadfezy action camera, the more expensive version that we're recording with. 1080p 60 frames per second video test. .1080p 60 frames per second. I was going to try the 4K feature, but it looks a little bit choppy. So I'm not going to record with that. I don't think it's really the best on this camera. So we're just going to use 1080p 60 frames per second. .1080p 60 frames per second with the Jadfezy action camera, the more expensive version. .1080p 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera. Hello, this is a 1080p 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera that we recently purchased on Amazon for a little bit less than $40 because we had a $15 off coupon. Just a video test with this camera, just to see how good the video quality is. In your opinion, how well can you hear me right now? Budget-friendly action camera, lots of features. for the price, lots of accessories for the price. This is a 1080p, 60 frames per second video test. As you can see, we are recording with this camera right here, the more expensive Jadfezy camera, not the $20 version. This is not the $20 camera. This is the more expensive one. 1080p, 60 frames per second video test. This camera is Sunday afternoon, February 27, 2022. Not a single cloud in the sky. Just very nice day so far. 1080p, 60 frames per second video test. .1080p, 60 frames per second video test with this action camera. .1080p, 60 frames per second video test. .1080p, 60 frames per second. .1080p, 60 frames per second video test with the Jadfezy action camera, the more expensive version. This is it right here. Jadfezy action camera. There we go. 1080p, 60 frames per second video test with this cheap, budget-friendly action camera that we recently purchased on Amazon. Today's a very nice Sunday afternoon, February 27th, 2022. Just enjoying not really enjoying the weather, but enjoying being outside, that's for sure. 1080p, 60 frames per second video test with this budget-friendly action camera that we recently purchased on Amazon. .1080p, 60 frames per second